Back.
Guys.
It's always so special to have you here. Now, that fight was nearly 40 years ago. Are you surprised by how much it is still talked about?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those rare moments for me in fighting who I say is one of the best fighters, champions in the world. I mean, Duran, I remember, vividly, that first punch he hit me with. I mean, Duran.
In the first fight? Or
In the first
fight?
in the first fight, Skip, he hit me. They call him Manos de Piedras, hands of stone.
Yes.
He hit me so hard. I said, "Who else is in this goddamn ring?" You know? But I remember him, and I hated him. I mean, I hate very few people. I hated him because he talked down to me. He insulted me, insulted my wife.
Yep. Right.
He did some things that I wasn't really used to, but then again, I couldn't retaliate because I didn't speak Spanish. So that was a reason why I fought him the way I did, toe to toe.
Well, you could have retaliated in the ring.
I could. Well, the smart thing would have been to use my hand speed and all this kind of stuff. But he taught me the importance of this thing. You know?
I'm glad you brought that up because the two most shocking outcomes of mega fights I ever saw, your second fight with Duran and Ali's Rumble in the Jungle victory over George Foreman. Both fights were won with that,
with
to
this
me.
thing, yes.
Both were psychological warfare fights where one mind was just stronger, one strategy was stronger than a superior opponent physically, because George Foreman was a bear of man. Ali's camp thought they thought he might literally get killed that night.
Well, he almost killed Joe Frazier.
Yeah, he'd almost in the
when the fight was announced, George Foreman against Ali, I cried because I thought the same thing, that he would be annihilated. He would be destroyed by. I mean, George Foreman the way he knocked out Joe Frazier was scary.
Several times, like 5 times.
Okay. So as you watched the fight unfold, the rope-a-dope unfold, what were you thinking then?
I thought that was smart, and he was. But getting hit by George Foreman or Joe Frazier to the body, to his head, doing the rope-a-dope, it was a cool thing when I saw it, but you can't do that.
But he kept telling George, "Is that all you got?"
That's all. Is
that all you got?
Talking, just breaking him down mentally.
Until he finally, in the 8th round, he knocked him out. Ali knocked out the bear of a man. And you made your guy, who's a bigger, stronger man than you, to me, to my eye. I know you're in the same weight class, but he just looked more imposing physically than you looked. And you made him quit.
I like that.
Right? And how did you pull that off? What was the key to that?
You know, that was my whole thing in the second fight, in the rematch, was to just use my skills, use my hand speed, use my foot speed, mobility. But I never thought in a million years that he would give up that way. He said, I didn't say no mas, but what does this mean?
Right.
I mean,
no more.
No more. I don't want.
Right.
And so it's been debated.
Were you shocked that he did this?
You know, I thought that was a trick. I thought he was doing that to get me closer. Yeah. I mean, I remember precisely that moment that he did that. Now, I thought it was a trick. But I stayed away, and then the referee said, "That's it." And I said, and my brother Roger said, "Right, he quit. He yelled because Duran hit him the first fight when my brother jumped into the ring. He nailed my brother, and so my brother got him back.
Did you think you were in complete psychological, mental control of the fight?
Without question. You don't do this to Roberto Duran. You don't do that to any fighter.
And you did it to him.
Yeah, I did it to him. And I stuck my chin out a couple of times. And these things were happening spontaneously. They were not just in my fight plan. It was just happening. And I used my hand and foot speed to the fullest.
You mentioned that he insulted you, he insulted your wife, he said some things that you felt was out of bounds, and you said you wanted to get him back. Is that one of the reasons you felt you lost the first fight? Because you wanted to get him back and you didn't use your smarts, you didn't use the things that you possessed that were better than him, which was footwork, hand speed, staying away.
Yeah, and that's a good question because I was in tremendous shape for the first fight, and it's just his antics and things. He said things to me that I couldn't retaliate, and it just got the best of me, and it got under my skin. And in that ring, all I thought about was destroying this guy. I thought about breaking him down and knocking him out, which got me in trouble because the minute he hit me, I said, damn, this guy can hit. That's not a little man. It's not a little fighter.
No.
And he rocked me, and got to a point where I didn't realize that I was losing the fight until maybe the 12th round.
Right. Because back then it was 15 rounds.
15 rounds back then, yeah. And it was like, it was a weird thing. I even contemplated retirement. I was saying, after this fight, this is it. I don't need this anymore in my life. Because getting hit that hard and I couldn't hurt, it seemed like I couldn't hurt him. He was that strong.
Right. You've been around the game a long time, and we've seen the transition. We've had faces of boxing, be it Muhammad Ali and George Foreman and Mike Tyson, yourself and Marvin Hagler. Who's the new face of boxing post-Floyd Mayweather?
The one who's had the impact is Canelo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's obvious this guy. When my wife knows the fighter,
Right.
right?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, she's, Canelo's fighting next week. I'm like, what? No, he's made an impact.
Right.
He's been brought up the right way and the right fights. He sells out huge venues, arenas. I mean, really.
He's definitely the new pay-per-view cash king.
Without question.
How do we get the Deontay Wilder and the Anthony Joshua? That seems to be the heavyweights is always where it's been. Sugar Ray. Even though when in the 80s when it was you and Hagler and Tommy Hearns, Duran, it's always been the heavyweights, and these are the two best.
Yeah.
How do they get these guys together? It's so much money to be made.
More money.
No, but will it lose its luster if one of these guys lose before they fight?
Yes, without question. You destroy what could have been so natural. I mean, that fight is so highly anticipated.
Right.
People want to. I want to see the fight.
I don't want to see it.
I want to see the fight. Right. That fight has to happen for their legacy.
Right.
For their track record. Right. I mean, that's a natural fight.
But you're not talking about household names yet. You're not talking about Ali and Frazier.
No.
Not yet.
Because one, Anthony Joshua is a Brit, and Deontay. But see, when you talk about George Foreman and Ali, American fighters, Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, Larry Holmes, those were the big guys here in America. So we want an American heavyweight champ, but unfortunately, they got like 15 different belts spread out against 5 guys.
Well, that's what dilutes the whole championship, possession.
Right.
Because there's so many. I mean, it's like WBC, WBA, IBU, you be me. I mean, it's just too many. It is. I truly believe that. It's like you're the champ and you're almost a champ, and then there's another belt say working to be champ.
Right.
I mean, it is. I'm being facetious, but it's real though.
Yep, it is. So there's still one fighter out there who has a huge following around the world, including in this country, and that is Manny Pacquiao. He is nearing the end, if not about to run into the end, but he's got Keith Thurman live on Fox pay-per-view on July 20th. What shot do you give Manny at this stage in age?
What is he, 40 what? Is he 42?
Should be about 41, 42.
They call me old at 30. They did. When I came back for Hagler, I said, Ray's past his prime. I'm 30 years old. And now they're fighting at 40. I mean, I don't even remember 40, to be honest. Well, I do remember. I lost to Camacho. But it depends on what's left, what he has left. Not physically. It's here. It's mentally. We become civilized.
That's a good point.
I became civilized when I came back at 40. Because you don't have that same mindset. You don't have that same conviction. You don't. In other words, when
that
I'm
thirst for blood is not there anymore.
It's not. It's not there. You know. But here's the crazy thing about it. You get in physically. We get in tremendous shape again. But you just don't have the same drive, or you go in there with conviction and bang the guy to the body because you know he's gonna hit you back. This is interesting. I don't know what Pacquiao has left.
Right.
I don't know, but I know fully well he doesn't have that thing we used to have back in the day.
Yeah, that's true. Well, remember, he's a politician. He's an ambassador.
Oh.
He's got a lot of things going on besides this.
A lot of things going on. You can't. I don't know any politician that could be a world champ. I know, really.
No, well,
it just doesn't mesh.
But as a prize fighter, can you be anything other than a prize fighter? Can you have two? Can you wear two hats?
You answer your question. No, you can't wear two hats. You can't wear two hats in boxing. That's a whole different concept. No, you can't. I call it tunnel vision. You gotta have tunnel vision, or like Rocky said, Slicey, the eye of the tiger.
Right.
You gotta have that to win.
Every day.
Every day. Every day. You live that every single day. You can't deviate. You can't. I'm gonna work on here. I'm working on this project a little bit. No.
You
foremost.
said something very interesting. I'm listening to you talking. You say the thing that got you is that all of a sudden you know you could throw a punch, but you didn't want to take that punch.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, when I was at my best, I would throw punches without thinking about it.
Right.
Now,
you know something coming back, huh?
oh yeah, I said, I said, nah, man. I know, no, man. Maybe tomorrow.
Right.
And it sounds funny and simple. It's so true. It's so true.
It's subconscious. You don't know that but you just know.
It's subconscious. Yeah, it is. It is subconscious because you don't know.
You don't know it
until you get in that ring, and someone coming at you. You just don't have. You don't have it.
But you don't feel it in sparring. You don't feel it when you're training because you're going through everything is the same thing. You're like whoop whoop, and then once you get into that ring,
the real fear. The real. Fighters don't. We would never say, I was scared of this. Yeah, I have. But after I retired, finally. Yeah, I was scared. I was nervous and this and that. But those things made me who I am.
Right.
It made me more alert. It made me faster. It made me smarter. Yeah.
Allow me to say, in conclusion, that you and Ali shared one thing. You had the two strongest minds in the ring in your prime that I ever saw in a boxing ring. Strongest minds, both of you. That's what set you two apart.
Well, thanks. You're right. That's what this saved me every time, and that's why I'm here with you guys today.
It's fascinating to hear you tell stories. Thank you so much for joining us today. And
it's
don't
still
forget.
fast, huh?
Yeah, I'm worried about here.
You snapped it real quick.
Well, I saw you flinch.
I did too.
No, I did that.
Yeah, it was really fast.
You brought it.
Yeah, I brought it back.
You can't leave that thing out there. Somebody coming over the top of it, huh?
You did that.
Thank you again for being here. You're welcome anytime. Don't forget the I Am Duran documentary, available June 4th.